I know what you're thinking. These look a lot like cameras, and they were intended to. These are portable phonographs made by Thorens. Sometimes people call them Gramophone kind of thing, but they're known as Exceldas. Thorens was a music box maker back in the 1800s, and they branched out into phonographs and had a few different models, but this, the Excelda, was their most popular model. This was made in the 1920s and was made for a few decades. They're really quite good considering how small they are. They're a little bit on the heavy side, but they're very beautiful. They came in a number of colors: red, green, blue. I understand there's a tan version, a gray version, and then I've got the black version. They're the shape of a Kodak camera. So they're a copy of a specific Kodak called an autographic, I believe. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and I'm going to show you assembling one, and we'll give one a try. Here's a good look at it while it's packed away before I set it up. Amazing piece of ingenuity. Okay, so let's try and put one of these together. On the cover of the phonograph, the Excelda, you'll find this little nut here that you need. It's very important. Then we lift off the metal cover and all the parts are in there. Just tightly packed. Really, really well thought out. Especially if they get a tiny motor in it, that'll work. So I'm just going to pull out the parts I need. The crank, the tone arm, and then that's where the record goes. So the tone arm just slips in like that. The reproducer just clips in like that. And then to wind it, you need to put it near an edge or something. So you can put the crank in. And then you have to crank it before you put the record on, because you can't access the crank with the record on. Crank it. And we'll take the crank off. Put this back here. Let me grab a record. Oh, I'll take this one. Just give me a second here. So, I put the record on here. What you're hearing in the background is the other machine humming as it's playing. And so the turntable is very small, but this clamp holds it down. This nut holds it down so it can work. So we're going to give it a try and see how it works. So I got put a needle in it. I'm going to put it on there. So to get it started, you got to press this little lever down. So I'm going to take the reproducer off and let it go. Get it up to speed. Okay, well that didn't sound too bad, and the motor's really quite quiet. Hear that? Like almost no noise. But if you noticed at the end of the record I was playing, the little bit I did play, it started to get a little wobbly, and you know what that is? This nut goes on the way a normal nut would be put on, rotating clockwise, which means as the record's playing, it's trying to unwind the nut. And I guess I didn't do it tight enough, and the nut came a little bit undone while it was playing. So it might have been smarter to use a nut that was the opposite thread, but they were trying to cut costs probably, and that would have meant special parts. But these things, I mean, you got to agree, that is a very, very cool looking portable phonograph made by Thorens.